What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Wookie Whispers. This is episode 7. We have none other than Mr. Las Vegas himself,
What's
the
up?
Nerd Dad. What's going on today, Chris?
Not much. Can we talk about that intro though? How hard that song goes?
It's hard, right? Dude,
I'm
it
sitting
took me
here.
a long time to find it.
I'm sitting here like
Just
bobbing my head
bopping.
to it.
Oh man, yeah, it's a bop. Took me a while to find this, so super excited. Thank you for taking the time to basically make this happen, because I know your schedule is hectic and it's kind of all over the place. So the fact that you're able to do this is freaking dope. So thank you for so much for doing that.
Dude, I wasn't gonna miss it. As soon as you told me, I was like, yeah, I'm there. I was like,
Let's
there.
ride.
I was like, I'll take the time off, whatever time off I need to do to be there.
For sure. So a lot of you guys don't know, and actually I don't even think you know, but a little over a year ago on December 31st, I dropped a review video on the Bo-Katan Hasbro Black Series helmet. When I dropped that video, at some point after, not too long after, somehow you actually found that video. And at that point, we didn't know each other, nothing, right? And you actually commented on that video, saying something about, dude, like great audio quality and great review, something to that sort. Dude, and that was like that was probably at that time, that was the best video I ever dropped.
Mhm.
And for you to go on there and be like and say those things, dude, that was so like inspiring. And I didn't even know you at that time. And I was pumped, bro. I remember running to my wife. I'm like, dude, look, because at that time I just had upgraded my mic and some of the different things. And I think it was the first time I started recording videos actually in this room. So my setup kind of changed. And then to get that comment from you, dude, was like, I was through the moon.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Awesome,
yeah.
dude.
So then we chit-chatted a little bit via comments, and then I found you on Instagram, and then, the relationship kind of blossomed from there. So now we're about, what, a year, 2-3 months or so after that, and here we are. So it's just something like that's super cool. You took the time, you found this random guy on YouTube, you took the time to make a comment on it, and honestly, that made all the difference to me when I had that comment, because I just had started about, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months ago at that time. Like I just had started and I was still figuring it out. And then when I saw you commented that, I started going on, I checked out your channel. I was like, yo, this guy's like next level, dude. Like his videos are sick. And I was like, the fact that he took the time to comment on my video meant the world. So thank you. Thank you.
No, dude, I was like, oh, I like the vibe here. I was like, he's got the vibe. I was like, we're both the same skin color. We both wear hats backwards. I was like, let's go, dude.
Let's do it.
And it's,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't realize, like when I said good audio, it's so important to have good audio. And it's like,
yeah,
I can't watch my old videos. No. Like I've tried once, I stopped about 7 seconds in. I was like, I can't do it. And the amount of time it takes for us to do it. You use an external overhead, right?
I do. Yeah, I boom it out of the shot.
Yep. And then it's an external recorder.
No. So I boom it, and then so it's a Rode mic that's boomed right above me, and then that mic has a Rode like extra long cable, and that plugs right directly into my camera. And the reason why I do that is so that I don't have to sync the audio in post.
That's what I do.
Yeah, you sync it in post?
Oh yeah.
That's a pain, bro.
Oh, I have 2 cameras. Well, I have 3, but I only use 2. And so I have to sync. I use camera A. So whatever's here, camera A. Over here will be camera B, and then the mic up here. So I have one mic on this camera. That's the most important one. So I can hear everything. So I can sync everything. And then this one, the mic or the audio is blasted. So it sounds terrible, but at least I could hear what I'm saying.
Right.
And then I have an external recorder above on top. It's like a small little thing, but it's great. It's awesome. But now, since I switched over to Adobe Premiere like very, very early on, didn't realize if I just right click, if I just highlight everything, right click, there's a button that says synchronize. I was like, oh, well, that saved me so much more time.
But yeah, I was about to say that.
it's a process.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely a process. Now with technology, it'll auto sync that. I use Final Cut Pro, and I haven't tried that, but I haven't had the need to try that. But I
Yeah.
think it does do that. That's like the new thing now. But yeah, that's a godsend for you because my God, trying to link that all the time,
And then
pain.
I then have to link this camera, right,
Mm-hmm.
to the camera B to this one to make sure they're both going at the exact same time. Yeah.
Yeah, pain
It's
in
a
the butt.
process. It's a
I'm
process.
still single camera life, so I don't have to deal with
Oh,
that
dude,
right
like
now.
sometimes I do 3 cameras, so then one that's like overshot just above. So
Jeez,
right where my
yeah,
boom mic is, it's right
like a
under
top
it.
down shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's a
good
bit
for
of
like
a job.
unboxings and stuff.
Yeah, you know what? I tried to do like I did do that same thing where I unbox everything, and I'm like, that takes too much time.
Yeah.
So I've actually just did it to where it's like a knife, cut, and then I cut the actual clip, and then bring in the next
Okay.
clip and cut it, so it's like super fast. Because
Oh, dope.
nobody wants to see that.
Nobody cares.
1, 2, 3, open the
Yeah.
flap. No, let's speed it up. Let's get to the
Some
product.
Yeah, sometimes I'm even like I'll cut the video and
Mhm.
I'll just have the box basically pre-open because I'm like, ain't nobody got time to see me slice this open. And YouTube's gonna want to like cut that out because they don't want to see anything like knives and stuff like that. So
Yep.
pain in the butt. Pain in the butt. Dude, I'm pumped, dude. I'm pumped to
I know,
have
me
you on
too,
today.
dude.
This is dope. Let's look at the chat really quick. We got a bunch of people in the chat. We've got Tony, new intro.
Of
Hey,
course,
yeah.
my guy.
That was when I messed up and I didn't hit the video yet, so he's bussing on us. Kyber Armory, welcome
Let's
to the chat.
go.
Let's go. Hope you guys are doing well. Bro, pieces up. What's up, man? Oh, this is a good one. Thanks for the super chat.
Don't
Is
tell
this
nobody,
true?
man.
Oh, it's a
No.
secret. It's a secret. I'll take it off.
I
No.
guess you could say it's the same industry. No, not same industry. It's different. It's different.
It's different.
It's very loud music. Put it that way. Very, very loud music. So yeah, it's all
Got it. Enough said. Enough said. Biker Jedi, welcome. Rebel Scum, what's going on? Guys, if you Rebel Scum's actually a really good friend. If you guys are looking for amazing Star Wars apparel, they've got it. And they've also have a subscription service where it's like $20 a month and they send you a t-shirt every month with an exclusive design specifically for that month. Last month was Asajj Ventress, and then this month mine just came in. I don't know if I want to put it out there yet, but it is fire. I have it. Go check out Rebel Scum for their apparel.
I almost ordered for them too, and I was
Did
about
you?
to, and I was, and I have my job is super hectic, so I didn't get a chance to do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, let me do it. I can wear it on today.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna make it in time. I was like, damn.
No,
So now I'm just waiting.
yeah.
And I had so many Star Wars shirts that came in that my girl was just like looking at it, like she's like, that's too many Star Wars shirts. I'm like, there's no such thing though.
No, I would say about like 50% of my closet is some sort of graphic tee, and I would say like out of those graphic tees, a good 90% of them are Star Wars. And then I got a few Moon Knights. I'm actually wearing a Moon Knight one
I was
right
about to
now.
say that. He said Moon Knight. I was like,
yeah, I love Moon Knight. But yeah, I got a few like Spider-Mans and stuff like that, but I would say 90% of it is Star Wars. So yeah, what we got here? He says, I heard there were Wookiees here. There are Wookiees here. We got 2 of them right here. Actually, just 3 because you're in the chat. And if Tony's in here, I would say that's a good 4th. Batmando, welcome to the chat. I appreciate you coming on. Let's see here. He says, I see 2 Wookiees on the screen now.
well, he's in the chat. I can see his picture. There's 3 of us now.
Yep. Some legends in the chat. Absolutely. Absolute savers too. Exactly what he is. Oh man. All right. Oh, Biker Jedi says, Johnny's a pleasure meeting you at MegaCon. It was an absolute pleasure, dude.
Please don't remind me of MegaCon.
I know, dude. What happened? So you were planning. We talked. You have your passes?
I did, yeah.
Yep. Because we talked months ago about you showing up. You were planning the whole thing, and then what, like a week or so goes like before the event, and you're like, I can't go because of Super Bowl or something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll say it. So I work in the nightclub industry here in Vegas,
Hmm.
and so usually I take off some time at work, like 3 months out of the year,
Yeah.
and so normally I actually don't go back to work until technically last week was when I should have started work.
Wow.
But
Okay.
but because the Super Bowl came into town, all hands
Hmm.
were on deck, and they're like, we need everyone now.
Makes sense.
And so I was like, okay, so let me think. This is the week before Super Bowl. I should be good. And then they're like, well, this popped up, this popped up, this popped up. We need everyone here the week before. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it ruined
Damn.
everything.
And it just so happened to be going to Vegas this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Financially, it was great. But when it came to
Oh, I'm sure.
like experience wise, I was like, you guys ruined everything. I bought a brand new gimbal
Wow.
because I brought a brand new mic, brand new lenses. I had already put money into buying brand new camera.
Yeah.
I packed my drone. I had everything ready.
Oh, you were ready.
Oh, bro, I'm telling you, I had luggage for my clothes and an actual luggage just for camera equipment. Like,
Damn.
yeah, I had everything. I bought. Oh, it ruined everything. Yeah,
Dude, that
no.
sucks.
Mhm.
That sucks. But now you have all the gear for the next one.
It's still packed. It's still
Is
packed
it
because I was
really?
like, yeah. Because I was like, I'm gonna wait because the day I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go do this. It's just grab and go because it's ready.
You're rocking and rolling. I'm gonna have to
Because,
fly out to Vegas and we're gonna have to do some content or something.
dude, my last video, I did a nice little crossover. I told myself I kind of want to keep doing those.
Hey, let's ride.
'Cause I'm doing Star Wars night in May.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, so I'm ready for that.
Jesse, Kyberphonics gonna be out there.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all rooming together.
Yeah. That's May the 4th weekend, right?
Hmm. And I think we're watching.
Yeah.
I think they just announced they're gonna release all the prequels in theaters that weekend.
All of them?
Yeah, I just saw something. It's gonna be a all 4K resolution and everything. They're really re-releasing that weekend. Yeah,
Dude, I thought it was only gonna be Phantom Menace.
that's what I thought too. And I saw something
No.
regarding the release all of them back in theaters.
Dude, where's Gianni? Well, I got a tent. My wife sees me walking out the door. I got a tent on, a backpack. I look like Dino with the stick, with the thing on the back.
That expandable chair that you go like this, and I have like a
Oh
chair
yeah.
comes. Yeah,
Nah, I got a little I got one of those like fold out like things that you put inside your tent because to lift you off the ground. I'm ready to go. I got
oh, that's
my
awesome.
jammies. I'm rocking.
That's perfect.
Well, because it's 3 movies, so that's at least 6 hours.
Yeah, I mean
You
it's
know,
supposed to be all three movies, but I don't know. I have to double check, but it's supposed to be
if
all of them.
that's what it is, yeah, I'm gonna be quite busy. I'm gonna be quite busy. Yeah, and I hope. What do you actually? Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. So, since that's May 4th, May 4th is on a Saturday this year. So, do you think we're gonna get like a trailer for possibly the Acolyte or anything like that? Because
I
I don't
mean,
know
it
if you
makes
saw.
sense. It makes
I
sense.
would think so, right? Because I heard rumors that they were gonna drop it potentially in June,
Really?
supposedly. That's what I don't know. It's a rumor. But on Twitter or X, they there was a profile. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Popped up,
Yep. I
and
saw
it
that.
looked like it was created in like 2022. And it's no longer private, but there's nothing on it. So the fact that that has kind of emerged is telling me that something's gonna pop off very soon. So that would be dope because they're obviously not gonna start a new series on May 4th. They're
Yeah.
so on because it's a Saturday. Disney typically drops things on like Tuesday, Wednesdays, depending on like if it's in the middle of the night or it's the day before at like 10,
They
11
tend they
o'clock.
tend to do that thing where they always release something on a date of significance.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to do that.
Yeah, I would think so. So I'm hoping. You excited for the Acolyte?
I am. It's something different. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people didn't like the book of Boba Fett. I enjoy Boba Fett just because I love like the character.
Right.
But like it's something new. When Mando first came out, it was a whole new character, a whole new concept.
Mm-hmm.
and that's what made it so good.
Right.
So I'm hoping for the exact same thing. It's uh, all of us just kind of keeping our minds open to something new. You know what I mean? Try not to focus on, oh, does it go with the story, or what, or are we going to get an appearance from this character type thing? No, let's just kind of be open minded for
Yeah.
a brand new story. So that's something I'm really really looking forward to.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I've said that before in the past on the show where I think that with The Mandalorian, that was one of the only things recently that the fan base as a whole was very happy about for the majority of it. Obviously, there were some mixed reviews for season three, but with the Acolyte being that we don't have anything tied to it, there's no like books or anything like that, there's no expectations.
Yes.
And when there's no expectations, we could go into it completely with an open mind and not with our mind saying, oh, I hope they do this and I want to see this and X, Y, and Z. We're going into it blind. And I think that is the best. I think when you go into something, I mean, that's with anything in life. If you go into it with expectations, majority of the time, you're going to be let down. But if you go in with no expectations and you're just seeing like, where's this going to take us? A lot of the times you're going to have a way better outcome because you had no expectations. So I'm really excited. I hope that they have some characters in there that are going to captivate us, like Balin and Shin did in
Mhm.
Ahsoka, because they were just they were characters that we didn't expect to see and or expect that they were going to really like captivate us and like fall in love with because we had no expectations.
Yeah.
So I'm
Just like
hoping we get the same thing with Acolyte.
just like what's it? Oh, I can't remember that show now. The one that came out last year on Disney Plus, the Star Wars one with Diego Luna. I don't know why I'm in a brain
Andor.
fog. Yeah. So it's a whole new concept, right? It was like a whole brand new show. The
Hmm.
only thing that I don't want to say killed it, but why people had such high expectations
Yeah.
is bringing Cassian into the story. He's like, oh, he was in Rogue One. Oh, this has
Hmm.
to be good. So that overhyped it to the point
Yeah.
where people had such higher expectations because of one simple character. And
Yeah.
yeah, so that's the thing. It's something brand new. Apparently, we're getting a Wookiee Jedi,
Yes.
right?
Jonas or
So
Junus or however you say his name. He's
so that alone kind of gets me hyped for it,
100%.
you know. And,
Yeah.
and we're getting lightsabers again.
I know, dude.
You know
Bro,
what that
I
means?
need
That's
lightsabers.
more lightsabers. I have two already. I just bought.
There's more
I was
reviews for us.
scratched at three, and I might buy a fourth. I don't know. We'll see.
Oof. Ooh. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I mean, man, I just love to buy things and that's a weakness of mine, but it plays into the YouTube channel so it works. I'm like, it's an excuse. My wife's like, another? I'm like, it's for the channel. She's like, okay, okay. And I'm like, it's really for
Sure,
me.
sure it is. Like,
Sure. I've been keeping myself away from the hot toys because
don't
forget
do it.
about it. I know that's something you've been into deep. I see the Bo-Katan right behind you. That thing looks sick.
You know, I honestly like when I was like, oh, I want this one. Like, this is the one I actually want. And then another one came out. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And I want that one. Oh, and I want. I'm trying to stop, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it's funny. Is like I look at the majority of them. I was like, okay, Mando, Bo-Katan, Clone Trooper, Captain Rex, Boba, another Mando, Boba. It's all clones at this point, or Mandalorians at this point. I do have that new Vader coming, and I don't know when that comes in. I know exactly where he's going.
With the broken
Mhm.
helmet. Oh,
I'm waiting. I already pre-ordered
the
it.
Hayden one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go at the very
Yeah.
top. I'm just
Do
waiting
you
for it.
know when they're gonna send it?
It says March. The whole thing's paid off. It's from Sideshow Collectibles, and I don't know
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
is with them that's taking so long just to get those orders out. I don't get it, but
I've never ordered anything from them, but you're not the first person I hear to say that it takes a while for them
yeah,
to come in.
it seems like a lot of people have gotten their figure, and something with Sideshow is delaying it, but it's okay. I mean,
Interesting.
I've waited months for a lightsaber, so it's fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's not a hole I'm trying to get into.
Don't do it. Don't. No.
I'll live vicariously through you.
After Vader, I'm good for a while. For a
Yeah.
good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's Vader. Do you have a Vader
I
already?
don't. No, and it's because I've had so many opportunities to buy one. I was like, I'll wait. I'll wait on that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
when obviously an Obi-Wan came out, and then that came out, I was like, that's it. That's the one I'm putting all my chips on.
That's fire. That's
I love it.
fire.
It's sick.
Tony says that I'm assuming you're all packed for ICC for all your cameras that you packed and stuff for MegaCon,
Yep.
so you're ready to
I'm ready to
go.
go. I'm ready for that, and I'm ready for Tokyo, so we're good.
Are you it says Florida in September, baby? You doing that?
Okay, this time I am. I was supposed to go last year.
Mm-hmm.
Things happened, couldn't go. But this time, travel day that we've planned to go to Florida is my birthday.
Oh shoot!
So I've already said it's my birthday. I know what I'm doing for my birthday. I know
We're
what I
doing
want to.
this.
I was like, bye.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. So I'll be
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Dope,
I'm excited.
dope. I plan on being there as well.
Let's go.
Yeah, I just you know, I'll only be like 3 months after the birth, so we'll see. So
It's tough. It's
we'll
especially
see.
around that's tough.
Yeah,
It's
so
hard to leave. It really is.
it's so soon. So it's my goal, but we'll see how things are going, and I'll make a judgment from there.
I
Let's
mean,
see here.
if you shoot some content while you're there and you're like, what's for the channel? It's an investment. So it's kind of like, it's like, I'm doing this for us, guys. I'm doing it for us.
No, for sure, for sure. I need to hit a convention sometime before I die, dude. You've never hit a convention?
Dude,
First of all, where do you live?
after a convention, you kind of want to die. You're like, I'm so tired. Like
Yeah.
it takes a lot out of you. You don't even realize how much it really takes out of you.
Oh, dude. And I feel like I always get what I call like the post con crud because I'm always sick as a dog afterwards. So
at Celebration last year, I didn't get sick at all. Everyone did. I felt like I was one of the only ones who didn't.
Dude, that's dope. I always get sick. Like MegaCon, I was wrecked.
See, good thing I didn't go. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm still bummed.
It's okay. They do it every year, and every year it gets better and better. So,
which is a
all
good
the OT and prequels that weekend. So, yes, Tony, they're gonna drop everything in theaters. Oh, dude, I'm not gonna drop any videos that week. I'm gonna be locked in.
You know what's so cool was like last year for May the 4th. It was like me, Jesse, Elvis, Sebastian, the Starlight Sabers, and we all saw Return of the Jedi together.
That's dope. Where at?
It was in Anaheim.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the same weekend that we went to Disney, and dude, I'm telling you right now, that is a game changer. Like to watch it between like people who love Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's a game changer. That changes the entire experience. You don't really watch the movie because you look at each other like, oh my god, this is awesome.
It's that part. And they're like, I know it's that part. Do you know it's that part?
It's coming up. Do you see that? Do you see the reflection? Do you see they messed up right there? Like, and you already know what happens, but that's literally the whole movie. You guys are talking about.
Insane. Yeah, I went, me and my wife went and watched it, and that was a blast. And I didn't know anybody at the theater, but it was cool because everybody was like dressed up. A few people had lightsabers and stuff. And I was like, I might bring a lightsaber. I'm like, they're probably not going to let me in with it. Sure enough, there was people in there with it. So I was like, damn it. I should have brought one.
I've got some memories of lightsabers watching Revenge of the Sith in theaters. That was wild.
That's like 05?
Yeah, that was a wild experience.
Yeah. I haven't seen, no, I don't think I've seen that one in theaters. So that's gonna be,
man,
no.
I saw
it was 05. I was like in the 8th grade or so. And I didn't really get into Star Wars like for real until afterwards. Yeah.
Okay. So wait, how'd you get into Star Wars? I kind of want to know about that.
Yeah. So Star Wars was always a thing in the house, like my dad and stuff like that. But it wasn't like, my dad wasn't like a fan like I am, but like it would always be like on, we would watch it and stuff like that. And then I would say right around the 9th grade, I got super sick. And I was at home, stuck for a while. And I was like, you know what? Like, I don't remember the last time I like sat down and watched Star Wars. And this is around, well, if it's 9th grade, it was like 2006. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch it in release order. And I watched it from the prequels, through the OT. But when I got to Revenge of the Sith, I was locked. I was locked in, and that was basically the start for me where I was like, "Oh yeah."
The start or the downfall? Because
Well,
guess that's when it starts, man. You're like, oh, now I want this. Oh, I see this. Oh, it's yeah.
yeah. Maybe a little bit of both. And so that was it for me. But then, there was nothing for a while after that. I mean, I know Clone Wars and stuff was going on, but I wasn't really watching animation at the time. And then, then the prequels came out, and then, it kind of ramped back up for me slowly. But yeah, and then I would say after that, I wasn't making content yet. Obviously, I wasn't creating things. I wasn't necessarily in like the Star Wars community. I was
Mhm.
just a fan on my own accord. Um, and then I would say about we're in 2004 now. I mean 24. So in 2019, yeah, right. Yeah, so 2019, maybe 2020, I went to Galaxy's Edge because I was like, yo, I gotta go. I haven't been to Disney in forever. Um, I want to go and see Galaxy's Edge. So we took a trip. Me and my wife took a trip out there, and it just so happened to be a lightsaber meetup night. What are the chances of
Oh,
that? You know what I
dude,
mean? Because
that's an experience too, dude. Just
that's
to,
an experience. And the place was packed. Everybody had lightsabers, the whole nine. And I'm like, damn, man, like I didn't know they had like lightsabers like that are like super dope. I just remember like either like the cheap glow ones or like the telescoping ones,
yeah, I have those.
And I was like, I'm getting a lightsaber today. Today. And my wife's like, you sure? They're like 200, $300. I'm like, oh yeah, we're spending that money. We're spending that money. So and mind you, I'm seeing all these people, and they have what I didn't know at the time. They had like the NeoPixels and stuff like that, and I had no idea. So I'm thinking, they're basically all the same. So I go to Doc Ondar's, and the lady at the table or the counter, she's showing me the lightsaber stuff, and she's turning them on, and I'm like, so is there like different tiers of like lightsabers in terms of like the brightness? Because like I want the ones that are like super bright, like doing all the effects. And she's like, oh, those lightsabers are from off planet. And I and at the time I'm like, off planet? I was like, I don't understand. Like, what do you mean? She's like, so like those lightsabers weren't purchased here in Batu, they were purchased on another planet. And I'm like, oh, those aren't Disney lightsabers.
It's like
Got it.
in your mind, you're like, I like that you're staying in character, but
Right.
get to the point.
Where? How? So I
I
was like,
need
you know
the
what?
send the link so I
Yes.
can.
I know you can't give me your number, so airdrop it. Airdrop.
Yeah.
And mind you, at that time, I didn't know about lightsaber brands and stuff like that. I just knew Disney. So I went back to the hotel that night after having an amazing night, and did a lot of research, started watching YouTube videos of people reviewing all these lightsabers. And that, my friend, that was the downfall. At
That's
that
good.
point, yeah.
That's the day that things ended but started at the same time.
Yeah, that was the moment. But yeah, man, and I think like watching all those people make, these review videos, I was like, man, like that's pretty cool. Like I can do that. I was like, I've never done it before, and I've said that on the channel before. I was like, I can do that. It'll probably suck, but I can do it. In the beginning, I'll figure it out. Um, and that was a while ago, so I didn't start creating content until a couple years later.
Mhm.
Um, but at that point, I already had like lightsabers and stuff. And then one day I just built up the courage, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna press record. And
It takes a lot to do that,
yeah,
honestly, just to press that. Like I think my first 2 or 3 videos, I didn't even show my face. It was
yeah,
just like it was camera up, like just down shot, and I was just like, let's just do it like this. And
yeah,
I personally wasn't comfortable showing my face.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And it takes a lot to go from. I mean, the easiest part is buying the stuff, but the next hurdle is just pressing the record button. And
Yeah.
if you're like me, you didn't feel comfortable showing your face, that's your next hurdle. And then
Yeah.
honestly, the next hurdle after that is editing. And then after that is actually putting upload. There's so many hurdles to get through for you to feel comfortable doing what you're doing. And you're
Oh
killing it right
yeah.
now, dude.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, I would say we're, I don't know, a year and a half in or whatever it is of doing this for me. And I think I'm just starting to figure myself out,
That takes a
you
while
know,
too.
yeah. Like, because I think when you go and you hit record, especially when it's your first few videos, at least personally, I was like, you know what? Like, what if I get like ridiculed? Like, I know I don't know all the information. Like, I know I don't know it all. I know there's a lot more people out there in the world that know more than me. Like, what authority do I have, to post this video, on the internet? And what if people hate it and like this whole thing? And like,
So what?
yeah, so
You know what I
what?
mean? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think
Exactly.
the most important thing about, especially when you first uploaded your very first lightsaber video, right? The very first
Hmm.
one, that is your first initial experience into obtaining a lightsaber. And then the process, and like I said, the experience of you ordering, getting it, and actually playing around with it. Right. You're
Yeah.
giving your truth, like the truth of your first initial experience of it, you
Yep.
know. And like you said, you may not know terminology, companies, whatever, but I didn't either.
Yeah.
So who did I lean on? I lean on to other people who I ended up meeting within the community, and that's where I learned where I got my knowledge from. I'm like,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. That's the best part about doing what we do, is that we can now bounce ideas off of each other and learn new things from each other.
100%.
I don't
Yeah. I
know
mean,
everything. I don't know anything about celebration, but guess what? Tony does.
Tony
So
does.
so what am I gonna do? Fire up YouTube and I'm like, all right, he said he has this coming up. I was like, okay, that's something I personally do not know. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
watch it.
for sure.
The Bro DeLorean, Elvis. Dude, I can't paint for crap. I can't. I mess everything up. But he does. So
Right.
I'll live vicariously through him because he knows how to do it. It's stuff like that. People that who know how to do stuff like that, or know that knowledge, you eventually start to kind of like absorb some of their skills, and you learn for yourself.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think you just got to be comfortable knowing that you're not going to know it all, but like comfortable enough also too to know who knows whatever it is that you're needing to know, and be bold enough to say, "Hey, like I don't know how to do that. Are you willing to like share that knowledge with me?" And I think that's the beauty of the Star Wars community, is that at least I haven't experienced it yet or have seen it happen, but I haven't seen any haters. Everybody has been nothing but love and supportive, and welcoming. And that was huge. And to kind of full circle that, like that started with you for me. So,
Oh,
which is super dope, you know? Yeah, I know. Oh God. Oh God. And so, and then we started following each other, and then somehow, some way, everybody that's in this chat today, we all started following each other, meeting each other, and chatting. And now it's crazy because it's over a year and a half now, and I feel like I've known you guys my whole life.
that's the beauty of it.
Isn't that cool?
That's the coolest part.
Yeah,
It,
it's
it's
so
it's
cool.
funny. Like when I was in London, I got there like I think a day and a half prior to the first day celebration, and I got the message from like Jesse, Sam, and all of them. They're like, hey, let's all meet up here. They were already together, but I was gonna meet up with them.
Right.
And I remember being in the tube or the train on the way there, and I was just like, man, like we've been talking, you know, better part of a year. Is that
Yeah.
gonna translate in person?
Yeah.
And that was, for me, I was nervous. And I remember where I was, right here was Big Ben, and I could see it. I was like, oh, that's cool. And right across the street, I see them standing there waiting for me. I'm like, all right, this is the moment.
This is
We
it.
got there. I crossed the street. I was like, oh yeah, yeah. It definitely translates.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
it's cool.
100%.
It's an awesome feeling.
That's so cool. Yeah, I wish I would have went, man. But it just wasn't in the cards for me. I didn't at the time too. I didn't even have a passport or anything like that. But I got mine now. I'm ready.
Guess what? Tokyo.
Tokyo. Yep. Yep. So I'm pumped. So so we talked about my journey with Star Wars. How did you fall in love with Star Wars?
It's funny that I've never heard anyone say the same thing as me.
Okay.
Um, it wasn't a movie or a show that got me into Star Wars. It was Star Tours at Disneyland in like '97.
It's a great ride.
Probably '96 or '97. I remember I wrote it. And me, I get motion sickness like really easy. And I remember writing it. And I was just, I got off when I was a kid. I was like, "Bleh," but that was awesome. Like, what was that? You know, I felt sick, and I was like, I'm not gonna make it to the bathroom. But I remember saying, what was that? And
Yeah.
I have a lot of siblings, and none of them were into Star Wars. They're not really into Marvel like that or anything like that. You know, I was the nerdy one growing up.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? I don't understand what that is. And so Phantom Menace came out in theaters, and my best friend at the time, he's like, let's go watch this movie. Okay, let's go watch it. Never seen it in my life. It was like me, him, and his mom.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing in theaters, I was like, why does this look so familiar? You know, like, why am I getting the same vibe as this ride?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I remember like I was thinking about the ride the entire time I was watching this movie. And I was like, that was a cool movie. Still confused, don't know what I just saw. And then, you know what I mean? But it seemed so familiar to something. And then all of a sudden, my cousin had moved here to Vegas, and I mentioned it, and he goes, "Oh, that's Star Wars." I was like, "You mean Star Tours? You mean Star Tours?" He said, "No, that's a ride." I was like, "So what's Star Wars?" And so then he showed me the original trilogy, and then I was like,
Dude.
"Oh, okay." So then we ended up watching the Phantom Menace after that. I was like, "So wait, where's Vader?" I'm so confused because I already know Vader from the OT,
Right.
and then I was like, "This is clicking. This makes a lot of sense." And then I remember seeing Attack of the Clones in theaters. I saw the Revenge of the Sith. It's like all this started from a ride at Disneyland.
Dude, that's pretty dope.
What are the odds? The ride. So now riding Star Tours, I think of two things. One, I was like, this is where I started. And two, don't throw up because you already know you're gonna feel like crap the entire ride. But it's awesome. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, obviously our stories are different, but I would say that lightsaber meetup night was the reignition of my fire for Star Wars. So even though I had I was pre-exposed to it and loved it, but it died for a while, and then
that's how it was for everybody. Or not everybody, but there's a good amount of people who'll say that they still loved Star Wars, but it wasn't like something that they were watching all the time, or something they like for us buying all these stuff. Like you go to the store, oh, I saw that, or you're online. What's a new lightsaber I could buy? What just came out? It wasn't like that. It wasn't until The Force Awakens came out that it reignited people's interest again.
Yeah.
Right. And then obviously the sequels came out. Disneyland decided to build this land, and now it reignited something for you.
Right.
You know, whether you like the prequels, the OT, or the sequels, something in there triggered something in you to reignite your love for Star Wars. Like my truck, I have a Jeep Wrangler, and I have a massive Imperial crest on my hood.
Do you really?
I do. Yeah. So
I gotta see pictures of that.
My truck is black, but the crest is in matte black.
Oh, that's dope.
And then I have a hijack, so because my Jeep is lifted.
Yeah.
And I used to have it mounted outside, and it was like vertical, and it's black and red.
Yeah.
That's my Jeep's lightsaber.
That's fire.
That's how I thought about it. Yeah.
That's funny. So you're lifted and I'm lowered. So I've got a Type R, a Honda Civic Type R. And so we are on completely different opposite spectrums.
I need a running start just to get into my Jeep.
Oh, yeah. Nah, I got to crawl into my thing. I got a full like iBosch Pro suspension kit on it. The thing's bad. Yeah, I'd be flying around crazy. But I also have a little truck that I use for like work and stuff like that. So I keep the miles off the Honda because it's the baby. So the Honda stays covered at home, and it's the weekend warrior for me. So
I need one of those. Mine just thought of gas.
No, go ahead. Yeah, no, for sure. I actually got to take it to get an oil change. Speaking of that, but anyways, thanks for reminding me. You were talking about Star Tours. Did you hear that they're going to be doing new things to Star Wars, like Ahsoka, I think Andor, and one other?
Mandalorian.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fire.
It's so funny because we have our group chat for the trip, everyone who's going, and we brought it up. Hey, they're going to have all three like versions, Is it going to be because it's Mando and Ahsoka within this similar timeline?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be all in one ride, or is it a separate time, like a separate thing, right? And so
Oh,
we're like, damn, how many times do we have to ride this ride to experience all three? Because sometimes
yeah,
you might get the Bunta race, or you might get the OT, or you might get the sequels. And
right.
I'm like, we're gonna have to ride this ride 12 times or more just to experience one of those three, if it's three separate experiences. That's not good for me. I'm not gonna make it.
No, no. You got to
Three
talk to the
times.
lady. Hey, listen, this is what
Can
I need. Can
can
you
you
put me on
program
that one?
it? Can you program it to where I write, Because I can't do that. I can do three tops, and that's to make sure I can do. But
Yeah,
it's awesome. I think that's another experience for someone who's never even seen the show or the movies to experience that. And like, yo, what did I just ride, and what is that? And but well,
yeah,
let me show you Disney Plus.
yeah,
What you just experienced, season 2, episode 4. That's what you just experienced. So that's the
yeah.
cool about it. Yeah.
That's
So
dope.
I
Yeah,
hope
I mean, because you might get doubles too. That's the
that's
problem.
the worst part. Like, this one again. Oh, again. Okay, let's just write it again.
Oh
So we'll see.
man.
We'll see. I'm gonna try and record some of it.
Yeah. So the chat is going wild. Let's see here. We were talking about Andor earlier, and Tony says
And for
Andor. Oh, ooh, some B-day spankings
yeah, and it's
on
gonna be
September.
it's a house full of guys too. So
Oh, how many spankings are we going to be receiving?
35.
35 spankings. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
I mean 25.
25. So we're not that far off. I'm 32. So yeah, let's see
Oh yeah,
here.
not far off at all.
No. Batmando. Let's see here. Ohio. I'm hoping to hit GalaxyCon this December in Columbus. That'd be fun. Yeah, make sure you do that. Oh, but December, dude, you got a while. God, that's a long time.
Start planning now.
For sure. Took you a month to start to recover from Celebration. Yeah, not a month for me.
We did a
Well, I
lot.
didn't go, but it takes me typically a week every time I leave a con. Yeesh. What Tony say here? He says, "Don't got time to get sick. Videos to edit." Let me tell you, Tony's dropping like 5 videos a day.
Couldn't do it, dude. Like
My boy
the
don't
amount,
sleep.
the amount of hours of my editing is just not in the cards to be doing that many. So like props to him, dude, because he's on it.
Animal. He's an animal. Yeah, no, for sure. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, speaking of that, like when I first started too, like I was only dropping about 2 videos a month, and that's because it literally took me forever to record something, and then it took me about 2 weeks to edit a video, and it was still trash, but it was like the best thing I ever did at that time. So I was like, "Oh, I'm killing it, dude!" Like, yeah. And then now with like this, doing this weekly, thank goodness I don't have to really edit this, but this and then dropping review videos every week. It's about 8 videos a month. Yeah.
Dude, that last video I did with me and John at the Collector's Outpost, that
Dude,
sequence,
tell me about that.
that sequence of me and him going back and forth,
Yeah.
that was like hour and a half, almost 2 hours of editing.
No.
Because I had to take every bit of his, cut every single one where I needed it, take mine, cut it exactly where I needed every single one, synchronize mine the entire time, and make sure it was one after another after another. Cut, take this piece, drag it over here. Cut, take this piece, drag it over here. Yeah, it was almost 2 hours.
Yeah. I can only imagine. Dude, to be honest with you though, when that I didn't expect it. So I'm just watching my boy in his review, and then I see the fuzzy thing. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, like cool effects, things like that. And then when John comes on the screen, I'm like, what is happening? Hold the phone. Like, hold the phone. It was like back in the day, the Nickelodeon crossovers between cartoons, dude. Because I religiously watch both of your guys' channel. And to see that happening, I was like, get out of town. This is like the best thing ever. And then like the innuendos and the comedy between like you two, dude, I was losing my crap. I think I sent it to like 5 different people, dude. I'm like, you need to watch this and stat. This is hilarious,
It's
dude.
so funny
Loved it.
because like obviously like he has the boot Kestis and I have the sear. It's so funny I say sear because it's like still right here. And
Yeah,
and I had this idea. I told him, hey man, like I really want to do this thing. And obviously we're all like team Vader Sabers, right?
for
And
sure.
I was like, that kind of makes sense. I was like, you got it from Vader Sabers. I got mine from Vader Sabers. And I asked him, the idea, and he's like, yeah, I could do something like that. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And it's so funny when he sent it to me and I watched it, and the way like his comedy was in there, the way he did it, I was like, that is so on par with where my mind is. That I was like, oh yeah, I'm rolling with this. Let me figure this out. It's like I try not to be serious in some of my videos, and sometimes like my like humor side comes out,
Right.
especially on lives. Like sometimes lives, like my humor comes out. I'm like, oh, gotta tone it down just a little bit. I can't do that. So when he did his, I was like, oh, now I have to do it. Like I have to kind of dip into that side of my humor, especially
Yep.
when he's like, I think mine's bigger than yours. I was like, damn you, John. That was perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Thank you for being on par with where my humor is with this. I was like, all right, this is gonna work. This is gonna work out
You're
pretty
like, that part of Chris unlocked.
good. It was just perfect. It was so funny. And so when I started editing it, I was like, as good as I want this to turn out, I was like, this is taking forever.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, oh, it was almost 2 hours of doing that. Good thing I have a widescreen monitor so I could see everything and
Oh,
just
dope.
and drag it. But if I was my old setup, I used to have two 27-inch monitors side by side,
Mm-hmm.
and the one monitor would only show like a certain amount of the timeline. That
Right.
would have taken me a lot longer because I have to keep searching for it.
Oh, that would suck,
But
dude.
thank you,
Yeah.
thank you to him for doing that because I was like, I gotta like change it up a little bit. Let's figure something out. When he did it, I was like, oh, now I gotta do these more often.
Yeah. So did you
So
re-record your sections because of, what he gave you so that you can kind of like match it better?
he gave it to me first.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Not like that. The video, see, like that. That's what I'm talking about. And so he has sent it to me, and like my work schedule is crazy. So when he sent it to me, I sat on it for about 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, I sat on it.
Yep.
I was like, huh, how am I gonna do that? How am I gonna plan it? I don't want it scripted, so how am I gonna plan it? And so I
Right.
took everything of his. I was like, okay, this works. And I was like, how am I gonna get this whole like him interrupting the video to work? How is this gonna work?
Yeah.
And then I thought about, okay, let's think of like static or like something happening. I was like, all right, this might work. And so I literally had to sit there and plan everything in my head, and it worked out like really, really well. Like I said, I want to do it more often, and I have
Yeah.
ideas. I have ideas in my head of how I want to do it,
Yeah.
and it might happen at Disneyland.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be fire.
I'm thinking
That'd be
about.
fire.
I'm already
I
thinking of
can't
everything.
wait. I can't wait. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I was like, dude, this is next level. I think I texted you that. I think, dude,
Yeah,
you're next level.
I was like, it's not into the Spider Verse no more. As it's into the YouTube verse. I was like, we're changing some
So
things up.
funny.
We're gonna change it
So
up a little bit.
funny. Jeez. Check out the chat. It's going wild. Thanks for everybody hanging out with us. We got Pop the Bounty Collector. You're welcome to the
You're
chat, brother.
Ricky, man. Yeah, I need you to get that Vader hot toy too.
Oh,
I know he wants it too, and that's
yeah.
you got to have it,
Ricky,
dude.
don't listen to him. That's a hole that we do not need to be in. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
Let's see here. What's bro talking about here? I think I heard episode 2 and 3 only out on the 5th. Okay.
That could be a
I
one
guess
day thing. I wouldn't be
it
surprised
could be.
if those movies are a one day thing, but then Phantom Menace is like for a week or two or something like that.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Let's see here. What else we got here? Biker Jedi. Look how nice you are, Chris. Chris helped me out with a few
I
things. Thank
tried,
you.
dude. I tried, dude. I try.
We still got to do, you and me, we still got to do the Profi thing.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of want to do
Because,
this. I started thinking about that already. Kind of give you a basic rundown of how it works or how to do it.
yep.
Because there's a lot of terminologies, a lot of like little if if you try to run it, it's going to say error, error, error.
Right.
And you don't realize that some of these codes, you need a simple comma. Like, oh,
Oh.
yeah,
Like,
it's a lot. It's the first time I did it, I was like, how the hell do I do this? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand.
right.
And then once I did, I was like, oh, it's missing that. Okay. And then I
But
checked it.
nobody tells you that.
Nope.
You just got to figure it out.
Yeah. It sucks. Like
Yeah.
I hate the saying, we'll research it. I'm like, no, I need someone to show me.
Right. I'm a
You know,
hands-on learner, but
like
like I can't figure it out. Like that's not my genius, you know? Like I need somebody to show me the way.
screen share it with me and show me what you're doing so I can understand what it is that you're doing. Especially now
Exactly.
with Profi being at was it what is that now? I don't even know what it's a 7 point something now. And there's so many features added on there that I don't even use because I'm like, I don't
Right.
need all that. So
Right.
let's keep it simple. And that's how
Yes.
I keep mine very simple. I don't need all that like crazy stuff
No,
they
no,
add.
no. Yeah. I think too, like with lightsabers too, like minus Profi, like you know how the new ones are now coming out with the Bluetooth to connect to the app. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't care for that. Personally, it's a lot. And they have a lot of issues with the connectivity. They connect, disconnect, connect. I'm like, it's pointless at this point. Like,
There's a
I don't know.
Bluetooth module that you can get for a Profi, right?
Yeah.
And it obviously it costs extra for parts, install, obviously, right? Am I gonna use it? No.
No.
So there's no point in
So what's the point?
using. Yeah, I don't ever use
Right.
it.
No, no, no.
You know, granted, yeah, the whole coding takes a while just to do one simple thing, but once you
Mm-hmm.
do it, you don't have to do it again. I'm
Right.
editing shorts right now. I can't, man. I try to do shorts, and then I kind of just like do one every 3 months. I can't do shorts. I try.
Dude, like I try to do shorts, and then like repurpose them for like reels and like TikTok or whatever. But dude, like I don't like it. I don't know. I'm not a and I understand if I want to stay relevant and I want to grow, like that's the way to do it. But like my inner artist doesn't like that. You know, my inner creative, I'm like, this is so cheap. Like, I don't know, like
It's
long form for
more,
me is everything.
yeah, it's more fun for me to do a long form video, and even though the editing can take several hours,
Right.
um, I enjoy that more. And so I feel like if I were doing reels constantly, then I'm gonna start hating it.
Right.
I don't want to do that because I know
No,
it's
no,
something
no.
I don't enjoy doing. So now I'm like, I don't even want to do it.
Yeah, something about the art of creating a long form video for me is so satisfying because a short, you know, I don't know, I feel like it's so microwaved content and there's not real creativity because with a short you're trying to like keep up with a trend or anything like that, and when that happens then you're really not creating, you're just copying in a sense. With long form video you really get to like flesh out your creative thing, you know, and really like create something out of nothing because every time like we go to do an unboxing or something like that and we turn on that camera, I mean obviously it's similar when you're doing a short, but it's just you
Yep.
and there's zero things, and all of a sudden when you're done recording and you edit it, you made this baby, you know, this thing. And you know whether that's 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever that video comes out to be, I don't know, it's special. I don't know because it just takes more thought and more creative like juices to make that creation, where I feel like a short, I don't know, it's just like microwave content to me. And
I'm just not good at it, to be honest.
yeah.
Like I'm gonna tell a little secret. You know, sometimes it takes me 3 days to do a video.
Oh yeah,
You know, when I do
for sure.
B rolls were
Uh-huh.
done a week. That was done a week ago.
Oh yeah. The
You
video
know
I'm
what I
gonna
mean?
record tomorrow, I recorded the B-roll yesterday.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it's funny. Like I did the overtop unboxing of this, right?
Yep, yep.
That was done last week.
Oh my god.
B roll was done. The overtop shot that was done last week. That way, that's done. That's put into a file when it's ready. Now I got to do the actual recording. As soon as
Right.
that's done, put them all together. It took me
Yeah.
two. It's like, oh man, it took me 2 weeks to make this.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it takes a lot.
Yeah, I mean, people don't understand what goes into making a YouTube video. There's so much, but the edit, the B-roll, the thumbnail, the description,
Oh, I hate
you
making
know,
thumbnails. That's my
it's
thing. I hate make that's out of everything, I hate making thumbnails.
me
Like,
too. And
you know
I,
how
I
many
just wish I
times
could
I
find somebody that could do it for
yeah.
me.
You know how many times I've done a video and so I'll do like the thumbnail either right before I start filming or I do it at the very, very end. Do you know how many times I've made the video, put everything away and realize, oh, I did not do a thumbnail.
Dude, every time.
And I'm like, oh, I got to figure something out. So I have to reset everything up again.
Yeah, every time. Dude, it got to a point where I was thinking one day I was like doing something. I was like, oh, I got to record my video tonight. And then I was like, oh, I got to make sure that this time I don't forget to do a thumbnail. So real quick, I grabbed like a sticky note and I wrote thumbnail really big. And then I stuck it to my mic boom arm so I couldn't forget because every time.
I put it on my notes on my phone. So I have to make sure, okay,
Smart.
so you got this shot, this was talked about, make sure this is important. Boom,
Yep.
boom, boom, boom. And then I put the emoji of a big red X next to it. So I know that's done.
So you're like,
And you're not
check.
forgetting. Yep. And it sits
Smart.
right there so I don't forget. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna screw yourself if you don't do it.
100%. Yeah, because I don't like my room where I record is not a room that stays set up. I have to break it down basically and roll
Yep.
everything into a
Same.
corner.
Same.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yep. Every time
I'm in
because
the
this
corner
room
of
I
a lot.
share. Oh,
Same.
I'm in the corner of my wife's office. I'm
See?
like just huddled up in the corner.
You have to like
It
zoom in
looks a
and out.
lot bigger.
You gotta zoom in and out just to make sure you don't get like, oh dang it, you can see that. All right, let me do that. You know,
Yeah.
it's the worst. It happens. It works out though, and it just shows like if, like you said, that room looks so much bigger than it is, and the fact that you can frame it correctly, and everything works. You know,
Right.
now Tony has a whole room to himself. I'm jealous.
It's because he's a beast.
I said when I buy my own house, I was like, I'm gonna have I have two options. I'm gonna buy a room, or I make sure I have an extra room, or I'm gonna get a tough shed and have that whole thing decked
Oh.
out and put it in the backyard.
Yeah, put AC in there though.
100%. Because
Could you
here
imagine?
it gets like 120 some degrees out here.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
forget about it. We're out here in Florida too, so it gets pretty hot. Not 120 degrees, but it gets hot.
Yeah, it's no, I'm good. It's just too hot.
No, thank you. What did Tony say here? He said he's sleeping basically, and he's like editing videos. That's how he edits video via like osmosis.
It's like what's his name? Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
He's sleeping, but he's still studying it in his mind. Same thing, same idea.
Craziness. So you know what I was thinking about today? I was like thinking about so many people think we're like as Star Wars fans, we're like, I don't know, super nerds or I don't know, all these crazy things because they don't understand Star Wars. Like, what do you think is like the biggest like misconception people have of Star Wars?
Well, I mean, everyone just think, oh, it's a nerdy sci-fi where there's these people that just fight with these laser swords, and you have this little old green guy who tries to give you knowledge and all this stuff. But people don't realize that when you watch these movies, there is some form of lesson out of it.
Yeah.
And
100%.
it's like, oh, what's the lesson in episode 3?
Yeah.
What's the lesson? It's like love makes you do the craziest things. You don't even realize that you're damaging not just yourself, but you're damaging other people.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that.
That's heavy.
It's
heavy.
And that's the thing. Is Star Wars nerdy? Of course.
Of course.
You go to conventions and you see people, and they're not only just cosplay as them, but they're acting in character.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Is it nerdy? Yeah, of course it is. That's kind of the point of it. But guess what?
100%.
There's a lesson behind it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, I'm not a Star Wars fan, but I do love Disney, blah, blah, blah. I'm a huge Aladdin fan. I love Aladdin. I'm like, okay, there's a lesson out of that too, right?
Yeah.
So
100%.
whether it's a Disney movie, Star Wars movie, maybe the Lord of the Rings movie, there's going to be a lesson out of it. And if you were able to take a lesson out of a simple sci-fi movie, that means you were way open-minded to that movie than you thought.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, I think with Star Wars for me, at least from what I've seen in perception, like the perception of other people, is like my biggest thing is I dress very like urban, you
Same.
know. And so when I'm out and about, I always have, I wouldn't say always, but a good majority of the time, there's something Star Wars on me of some sort, you know.
Mhm.
And a lot of people can't see and they don't understand the two. They're like, I don't understand how like you look this way, but like you live this way and how those two kind of intersect. And I'm like, I don't know, just respect my gangster. You know what I'm saying?
It's like
like I,
a closeted nerd.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's
I don't
like
know.
in front of everybody else. She's like, "Hey, yo, what up?"
Yeah,
You know, close that
yeah.
door. It's like, close that door. May the force be with you. You know what I mean? It's yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Which
It's
is the best
wild
part. Which is the best part about cons is
for sure.
you don't judge anyone but what they're wearing, what they like, why they're there.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's the best part. Even with the group of people that we associate with each other, is like we don't judge.
no,
It's like I like the sequels better than the prequels. Awesome. Guess what?
cool.
Awesome. At the end of the day, guess what? You love Star Wars. I love Star Wars. We're good.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the beautiful things about Star Wars is that Star Wars has so many different like lanes and avenues of fandom within its umbrella. You know, like some people are into like the creation of the puppets and like the practicals and stuff when they're making the movies. So many people are into like the music and the scores, you know, which is another beautiful thing, part of the fandom. A lot of people are like us into like the collecting of the physical merchandise and stuff. I mean, there's so many different avenues like cosplays and stuff that you can be involved in that's still under Star Wars, and you can totally love those aspects of Star Wars, and it might not be my thing, but I love these things, but we are unified like as one because of this one thing, you know,
Exactly.
and that's what's beautiful.
That's the best part about it.
Yeah,
It's like I love the prop making. Do you? I got some lightsabers.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and how that ties in together, you know.
That's the best
Oh
part.
man. So, with that being said, like, how do you feel like Star Wars and like content creation field, like what we do and stuff like that? Like, how do you feel that this is going to evolve over time? Because I would say just in the past like year and a half, 2 years, I've seen like the way like people are creating content completely different. You know, like the styles of different things, and so many different people are doing it differently. How do you feel like in the next year plus, you know, that we might see it like a change?
That's so hard because like so when it comes to technology. So let's say like for instance like lightsabers, obviously because we both do a lot of lightsabers. I think we've I think we've kind of plateaued when it comes to that. Because
Yeah.
what other features can you really show off at this point? Unless it's a
Hmm.
real laser essentially coming out of it. What you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But what changes now is we're gonna get more characters out of it. Like we said, acolyte. So
Yes.
we're gonna get more sabers that we can show off, right? But when it
Yeah.
comes to technology, it's kind of the same. Like
Yeah.
I still have my very first lightsaber I got in 2007. I
Do
still
you
have
really?
it. I still it's in the case and I still have it.
Damn.
And um it was an original Force Effects lightsaber,
Oh yeah.
and it was it,
Graflex?
yes, and
Yeah.
it's so funny because you go to GameStop, you find the Black Series. You go Walmart, Target, Ross, you find these, right? And at the
Hmm.
time when they were first coming out, it was Best Buy for a little while,
Yeah.
and then it came out at Sharper Image. Do you remember Sharper Image?
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, that's where you'd find lightsabers. They're $150 at the time. I worked at Hollister,
Huh.
making like $6.50 an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
On commission?
I saved everything just to buy this lightsaber, and like I still have it. You know, and
Dude,
so
that's
I
crazy.
remember at the time, I don't care what anyone says, the technology that was in the Force Effects back in 2007 is better than the Black Series.
Yeah.
Something about it was brighter. The materials were way better back then for some reason.
Mm.
And I remember like this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like it lights up the whole room. And now if you have one of those now, it's like, oh god, this is trash. This is terrible.
Yeah.
But at the time, you specifically remember, oh, this is awesome. This is so good.
Yeah.
You know, and so like something that's so good, especially like with like I'm gonna bring him back up again, Tony. There's so many cons that open up an experience for so many people, and for him to constantly not just do Celebration, the ICC con, or maybe even
Yeah.
at Comic Con.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things you can change to enhance your videos. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You can either do a simple walkthrough,
Yep.
right? Or there's always like the 501st Legion of
Like
Star Wars.
MegaCon and stuff.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, they're always going to be there. So you can dedicate one full video to just that of what you saw.
100%.
You know, so there's so much you can do, and I think that within the next year, there's a lot that can happen when it comes to Star Wars content and how it can evolve.
Yeah.
You know, like now, I remember early, like all these helmets, they weren't available at the time. Before it was just the X-Wing one, Darth Vader's, and a Stormtrooper.
That's it.
Now look at what we have.
Oh, dude.
You know, there's a lot. There's a lot that we've added
Crap
to
ton of helmets.
And I have some expensive ones too that just.
Do you?
Yeah, it's hiding up here. I don't ever bring it down because I don't want to break it.
I refuse to buy helmets that are not Hasbro. I have one non-Hasbro helmet, and that's because, you know, I can go and buy like a like an EFX or whatever helmet, and spend, you know, $500+ on this helmet. But for that $500, I could get like 3 or 4 Hasbros, and that gives me like 3 or 4 videos. And to be honest, they just sit on my shelf anyway. And I'm like, who am I impressing? As long as I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I have one up here that's really, really expensive, but it's technically it is a it's not really, it's third party, but it's not because it was once licensed by Lucasfilm.
Okay. Not like an EFX?
No. So the company now is called the New Anovo. But back then it was a Novo. And so that helmet brand new was like $700.
Damn.
But when you think about when you think about the story behind it, like, oh, that's so cool. Now I really want it. So it's a Kylo helmet. It's from The Force Awakens.
Oh, dope.
But the company original had access to the helmet Adam Driver wore, and so they did 3D scans of that helmet.
That's cool.
And now it's that, right? It's like, oh,
yeah,
I mean, he didn't wear it, but like the size and dimensions, everything came from his head. That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
So
yeah.
Okay, I'm buying it, and I did.
That's so dope. Yeah, I've only seen their helmets like at the cons.
And when I was at Celebration, the new Nova was at Celebration too, and I did grab because it's I can't remember what it was, like a new owner. I can't remember exactly what he told me, but they're like changing some stuff, and the company had some issues fulfilling orders and stuff. So when I was there, I did grab their Kylo helmet because I wanted to see. It's the same thing. They were making it the same way and the same materials. I was like, okay, it's the same thing. So at least you're still getting that quality product.
Right.
It's when it comes to deliver and fulfilling orders is where it gets a little like, I don't want to say sketch, just more of like, I don't know.
As of right now,
yeah, I have seen some complaints about it, about people not receiving orders, or a good one is their Bo-Katan. Like their pictures, they look great. Then you see in a person, you're like, that's not what I saw in the picture. But all their other helmets are great. Like they're spot on, perfect.
Really?
And then you see the Bo-Katan, you're like, that's not. I don't want it.
Yeah. That sucks. So it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
Maybe depending on the helmet.
Yeah. So that's why when I saw it in person, I was like, It's funny. Jesse of Kyberphonic, he mentioned it at Celebration. It was like that night. He's like, dude, if you have a chance to go look at it. So I think it was like day 2 Celebration. I went straight there and I looked at it. I was like, oh, that looks terrible.
Damn.
But then everything else, I was like, oh, that's so good though.
Right.
Like, you see this helmet. Oh, that looks so good. And then you get to that one, like, oh.
Damn. Yeah. That sucks because then you're just kind of like you don't know what you're gonna get when you order something.
Yeah, and like I personally wanted to really review that helmet because it's really, really nice. It really is. Like it's
Yeah.
even like where the chrome is all the way around. There
Mm-hmm.
is a section right here that's kind of black,
Mm.
and it think of it as like you got like a piece of metal and you hit it with a lighter.
Okay.
It looks really good. It looks like as if his cross guard got too close to it, kind of like singed it a little bit, and it looks really good. But
Yeah.
I can't say I can say I if you can get this helmet secondhand, I recommend it because it's really nice. But if you're trying to buy it brand new from the company,
No shot.
yeah, I personally would not say get it for that
Okay.
reason.
Well, it's
Yeah,
good to know. I haven't bought anything from them. I've just seen their their stands and stuff at like MegaCon, and they were actually well, I don't know, were they at MegaCon? I can't remember. They were definitely at NYCCon.
yeah. I actually saw videos. I think I still follow them on Instagram. I saw that they were there.
Yeah, and so I got to hold a bunch of their stuff, which looked great. But I don't remember specifically holding the Bo-Katan one, so
Yeah,
I don't
they're
remember.
501st uh clone trooper.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Is it
It's
really?
so nice. And it's like
Oh,
nicely like lined in the ends. It was so nice, dude.
I'll have to check
And
it out later.
and there the guy he offered, he said, you can buy one here at the end of the at a and a celebration. I was like, no, 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 no. It was like $400 or $500.
Oh, and then how
I
do you get it home?
That's what I'm saying. So I immediately said no. I walked away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way. That's the one thing about like cons and traveling for them, and then you're like, how do I get all this stuff home? So when I went to New York Comic Con, I brought like an extra backpack and extra duffel just to like stock that joint with stuff and bring it home.
I plan like for like Japan. I'm gonna have I'm gonna check in my personal stuff, but my carry-on is everything I buy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
That's smart.
that way I know it's in the
It's
overhead
not being
compartment.
thrown around and
Yep.
stuff.
It's in the overhead compartment. It's good. Like when I was at Celebration, I got like the photo ops with Ewan, Hayden,
Yep.
Giancarlo Esposito. And
Yeah.
because they're photos, they're like in my bag. And I was like
Oh yeah.
carrying it very, very carefully. And then I
Were
also
they
have
not in sleeves?
they were in sleeves, but even then I'm
Okay,
like,
okay.
I still gotta be careful. I
Right,
have
right.
plaques, metal plaques that got signed by Ewan and Hayden.
Okay.
I got signed for me when I was there. And so those are very, very thin metal. And so I had to
Mm-hmm.
make sure those were in, like, I put them in cardboard, like they sandwiched them together and I taped it.
Yes.
And so
Yep,
every
yep,
time
yep.
I had my backpack and I took it off, I lightly just put it on the floor because I
Oh.
didn't want to risk ruining them because it cost me way too much money to get those done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's crazy. When I got my photo ops out in NYC, they were the those like really thick plastic sleeves that are like
Yeah.
hard plastic.
Yeah. I actually bought one there just to protect them.
That's what I
Yep.
do. So that helps out big time. Diamond Figs, thanks for the super chat. Just
Yo, dudes being
dudes
bros.
being bros for sure, man. Thank you, bro. Much love. Much love.
I'm curious,
So,
who's your favorite character? I'm curious.
Star Wars character?
Mhm. And why?
Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan, and because I feel like his personality and mine are kind of similar with certain things in like what I believe and stuff. He's kind of black and white. And he's kind of like this is what it is and it is what it is. And I feel like I live my life like that, and my wife has definitely softened me up quite a bit. Um and so Obi-Wan for sure. We'll be watching the movies and stuff. And my wife's like, "No wonder you like him." I'm like, "What do you mean?" You're like, "You guys are just alike." Like so so I get it, I would say yeah, it's definitely Obi-Wan. Yourself?
All right. I don't want it to sound dark because it's not like that. Um,
He's like Anakin right
that's
as he's
exactly
turning
that's
and
exactly
he's
yeah.
killing the
Yeah.
younglings. The younglings.
How'd you know? No, so there's aspects of I see myself in Anakin, which is why I enjoy that character. Uh,
Yeah.
and in ways, even when he's Vader, both prior to the
Mm,
suit and during the suit, and
yeah.
I see so much to where not the anger part, maybe I don't know. Um, it's obvious. It's obvious. Anakin loves hard, right?
Very hard, yeah.
Not even if it's just his wife, right? how many times
Mhm.
did he mention he had to save Obi-Wan? He didn't have to.
Yeah.
Look how much he loved his mom.
Yeah.
And for me, I love my friends and family sometimes too much.
Yeah.
And again, the life lesson is, again, you don't realize the power of the dark side. I wanted to say that so bad. You don't realize what you learn out of movies, that what love can do to somebody.
Mhm. Yeah.
Whether it's a loss in the family, or a loss of or anything, or a friend is going through a tough time, you can't
Yep.
help but to make sure that they're okay.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
if there's something out of, like, your control, you can't help but care for someone so much that you want to make sure that they're okay. Because if your close friends or close family's hurting, now you're hurting too.
Yeah.
And so that was one thing about Anakin. I felt, I was like, yeah, I love way too hard.
Mm.
Not enough to makes me a
Yeah.
bad person. You know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
enough. It's enough to where it's like, if you're hurting, I'm hurting too.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, man.
man,
Yeah.
we're getting sensitive here, man.
I'm with you. And I get it. And like, just like to double down on that, I saw that of you firsthand when I was going through the issues with Milo, my dog. How many times did you like reach out to me and check in on me and all that? And to be honest with you, I was having a conversation with my wife, and as all of this is going on, and the people that I thought that were going to like reach out to me like more and like be more concerned and kind of there for me, the people that were like, oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, like these people surprisingly weren't the people that were continuously checking in on me. To be honest with you, my Star Wars community was checking in on me more than like my physical close friends that like I've been friends with for years. And I'm sitting at home and we're going through this crazy turmoil. And I remember sitting there thinking, like, damn, like this really puts a lot of things in perspective for me. For some of these people, I was like, because dude, and we talked offline about this, but it was rough. We were, I don't even want to go back to that part, but it was dark. And the fact that you would text me, like, and so many other people would just message me and like check in on me. And I was like, dude, like, half of these people I haven't even met in person,
Hmm.
and I feel more loved by these people than the people that I've had physically like in my presence for years, you know? And so first off, thank you.
I don't
And
know, of
second
course.
off, yeah, no. And I know it goes without saying, but like, man, and with that, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful. But you just never know. But I say all that to say, just to basically um to validate exactly what you're saying about you loving hard, because I experienced that love from you, of you reaching out to me consistently, and your donation and all of those things. Like, if it wasn't for that, that love from you and all the other people that donated, like I would have lost my dog,
And
you know.
that is like this. Can we curse here?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
you're good.
it's the shittiest feeling,
Yeah.
knowing that something like that can happen, or
Yeah.
it's the shittiest feeling knowing that someone is going through a really, really, really tough time, and there's
Yep.
nothing I can do about it,
Right.
or there's nothing like person A or B can do about it. But the thing that we can do is like make sure that that person who is hurting knows that we're still there,
Yeah.
making sure that they're okay.
Yep.
And that's, again, it's like you can't help but care. No matter
Yeah.
what it is you're going through in your personal life, you can't help but like, oh man, I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you like say, what do you mean? Like, well, they're going through a tough time. Well, it
Yeah.
was slow at work today and they sent you home. Okay, I lost a little bit of money, but they're going through something worse than I am.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
you can't help but care. And
Yeah.
that's
No, dude.
that's definitely where I see Anakin. I'm like, yeah, that's not the dark part,
Hmm.
but like, but even when him as Vader, obviously that's his son,
Yeah.
and that's where his love came out. He's like, I can't help but love my son. Like, I'm gonna reach out to him, or
Mm.
I I want to bring him to the dark side, not because because he wants his son to be bad, but in a sense, he wants his son to be protected
Yeah.
from Palpatine.
Mm-hmm.
People may not see it that way. Oh, we're gonna rule the world together. No, what if he did it because he wanted to protect his son because his son could be in danger because of what the Emperor could do to him?
Yeah.
It's another way of looking at it. Same
Oh,
way with his daughter.
man. Yeah.
He knows he has a daughter now. He's like, okay, now I have to do something to protect her too.
Mm-hmm.
So if I bring them to the dark side, they're essentially protected by me.
Right.
That's another way of showing love. See?
That's heavy.
I'm telling you.
That's
People don't
heavy.
realize. I tell you, Star Wars. You can learn a lot from Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
You really can, and people don't realize it.
So heavy. Oh man. Let's check the chat before we close it out. Let's see here. Tony. He says he usually makes a batch of thumbnails and keep them on deck ready to go. That's
I
crazy.
need to start doing that. And I'm not lying. Like right before you start filming, do it right there, and that's gonna be part of my notes for now on. Is literally that's the first thing you do because I'm gonna forget.
Yeah, that's smart. He says I love him. Oh, when we're talking about his room, sometimes he just stands in the middle.
I would too, dude. He's got a closet too with stuff.
Oh yeah.
So it's like
Yeah,
I would
crazy.
I would do the exact same thing. I'd be like, wow, I did this.
Yeah, it's dope. So in my new house, when I move, in a little over a month, I'm gonna have a full room just to dedicate to this. So it's gonna be dope.
It's gonna be dope. You
So
know how much more money you're gonna spend on buying stuff? Because you're gonna be like,
oh, I know.
oh, this wall looks empty, but I could buy this. Oh, Hobby Lobby has a sale, and there's this big like canvas photos. I could put that there, and then
just
forget
about it. Yeah, I know. Pop says he's also in the corner of his kid's room.
See, and that's another person. Like Ricky's like been on fire too,
killing it. Ricky's killing it, dude,
and he's doing it from the corner of his kid's room.
Oh yeah.
So it just proves like in order for you to do something like this, you don't have to have your own room or a fancy studio.
No shot.
It's just to love you have content and pushing things out. He's killing it right now too.
Yeah, I started recording videos on an iPhone. You know what I'm saying?
Did you?
Like,
oh, actually, I think I saw that. It was last week's episode, right?
I think maybe.
I remember that.
I think actually, I'm gonna really blow your mind. All of my videos up until like 2, maybe 3 videos ago were all iPhone.
Shut up. It's lighting, bro. Lighting does the craziest things.
Lighting's key. Yeah, I got a 3-point lighting system in here. So I got a key light, I got a backdrop, I got a hair light, which I don't have on. So just for this, I just have the backlight, the key light. But when I'm recording my videos, I also have a hair light, basically, to give like the shadow off of the back of my head and all that.
I used to do that, and then when you look at my whole, it's just like boom arm here, and I'm like, it just looks like a jungle gym because there's so much. I was like, yeah, I need to tone it down a little bit and figure out a better way to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think when the new place I'm gonna get what's called a Varipole. You know what that is? Yeah.
Yep.
And have that over the ceiling, and then I can just hang stuff over there to get stands off the floor. I mean, what's cool is like the way I have everything built now, everything's built like on one desk. So like my mic boom, my key light, and everything else is kind of and like this mic here and all that, it's all attached to this one desk that moves. So the only really stand that I have is my camera stand and the rim light, like the hair light stand. So it's only really 2. It's not too bad, but this room is tiny and I share half of it. So there's another desk in here, there's another bookshelf, there's stuff on the wall because it's a full office that I have to like roll all this into the corner. So
once I have my own room, I'm gonna have things mounted on the wall. Like the light I have, there's a mount that goes on the light and actually mounts to the side of the wall. You can swing it in and out.
Dude, that's dope.
So I was like, okay, that's in my mind. I'm already planning. I'm doing this, and this. I'm gonna do a whole I already designed an entire room. It's just when it happens, it happens.
Yeah, I even got stuff for the ceiling for like panels and stuff for like sound and stuff.
Sick. Yeah, see.
Yeah.
Sick.
It's gonna be dope.
It's gonna be a major game changer in your room. Like the way your audio is gonna come out. I promise you, night and day difference. I can't do it here. I have everything to do it. I just can't do it here.
Right.
I thought about putting rods like the big tripod ones,
and
surrounding just my little spot, and it's gonna be like a thick material, so there's no
Yep.
bouncing of sound. And I thought
Yep.
about it. I was like, it already takes me 35 minutes to set everything up. That's an additional 30 minutes. And then to
Easy.
break it down, I was like, it's fine. I'll deal with what I have now.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do that, and then there's these things called, which you probably already know, sound blankets.
Yep.
And I'm gonna do sound blankets for like over the bedroom door of my new studio, and I'm gonna do it over the window. And then I have all impact windows on this new house, so that's also going to
Nice.
help with sound. And then in this particular excuse me, in this particular room, I didn't have them tile it so that it's carpet.
Oh, perfect. It's gonna dampen so much because if
So much sound.
you do tile, it's like hey,
Yeah.
yeah, it
So
gets
like
pretty
this
bad.
room here is tile. So I went and bought a big like area rug and I put
Smart.
it right in the whole thing.
Literally
So
dampens the
that
entire thing.
that helps a lot. But so the whole house and the other one is tiled everywhere except for that room.
Damn. You also have the one thing I started doing too to make sure I even dampen, like I have like a desk that comes out so like I can sit, I
Hmm.
dampen that too because the audio will come down, bounce up, and come up and hit the mic.
Ooh, that's a good
So if
idea.
you dampen that too, it's gonna lessen the amount of.
Free game, guys. We're getting free game here.
Don't
That's
tell nobody.
smart.
Delete this. No,
Shh.
I'm just kidding.
You just just tell nobody that.
Where's John when you need him to interrupt this video?
I'm telling you. Jeez. My gosh. All right. So this was a hell of a show. Thank you so much for coming on. We got to do this again, and we got to figure out some other ways to collaborate and create because this was way too natural and way too cool. So I
I'm ready when
appreciate
you are,
you.
dude. I'm ready when you are.
Let's rock and roll. You
I'm
have any
off on
questions
Tuesdays
for
now.
me?
I'm off on
Are you
Tuesdays.
off on Tuesdays
I
now?
am now, so
Oh, that's
I'm free on
crazy.
Tuesdays now, so we're good to go.
Dope. You got anything for me?
What's next for you? What's something on your channel that you currently aren't doing now, but you
Mm,
feel like you kind of want to branch out and don't do hot toys. Let's start there.
yeah. Yeah. That's a good question. I mean, I think starting the podcast, because this is only episode 7, right? Like
Yeah,
this is fresh. This is new. Um, this was a stretch for me, because I've never done anything like this before. So this is so new. In terms of like besides Wookie Whispers, um, I don't know. I think I'm so focused on this right now and product reviews because at the same time with like such a big life change that's coming in 3 months, like I wanted to make sure that I had this down packed so that while that is going on and I'm figuring that out, I'm also not trying to figure this out. You know what I mean?
you're
So,
building the foundation before the next foundation has to be built.
correct. And so that's why it was so hard on myself to push this to start this before MegaCon so that I already had an episode like in I think it was like the last week of January is the first one with Tony.
Mhm.
And then, I've been doing it every week since. So now we're in episode 7. So next week is 2 months of this, which is crazy to me. Um, and so, yeah, I mean, really just honing in on this. I think the next phase for me, honestly, would probably be trying to figure out how to like collaborate, do more collaborations because YouTube is such a lonely journey because an introverted. You sit in your room, you turn on the camera, right? You close the door. It's just you in your bedroom, and then once the video is recorded, you're editing it. It's a very like secluded thing, and to be able to do like more creation with other people, whether that's traveling and doing it or doing it virtually like this, whatever that looks like, is going to be whatever that is going to be the next thing. I just don't know what that looks like yet, but I think doing the podcast is a really good extension of that,
Oh,
because
I have an idea for a collaboration already.
all right, we'll talk
Oh,
offline.
oh yeah,
All right, we'll talk offline. Stay
oh yeah.
tuned, people. Stay tuned.
I have an idea already. I think it'd be pretty
Yeah.
cool.
How about yourself? Anything new coming to your channel? I know you're busy because you already have kids
Yeah.
and you got a crazy job and all
Um.
that. So
Well, it was supposed to start for MegaCon.
right. Oh,
Um.
okay.
I don't know if it's gonna how well. I don't want to say received. How well it's gonna No, I mean, I want to do more vlogs,
Okay. Yeah.
right? So I, it's funny. I was like, all right, we're gonna do it at a celebration. It's so funny. I told Tony, I was like, I'm gonna vlog every single day. It didn't happen. Didn't happen at all
Yeah.
because you're so immersed in what you're seeing around you, right?
Yeah.
I've never been to London, so that was like, even though granted, like we're at a convention center, I was like so like amazed by, dang, another one, bro.
Another super chat. He's feeling generous. I appreciate it. Will, I appreciate you big time. Real quick before I don't want to get off your topic, Chris, but uh, Will showed a lot of love, over the time of us getting to know each other and stuff, and I appreciate you, man. So thank you. I won't stop. I'm trying to be like you and Tony. Can't stop, won't stop. So don't worry. I'm here to stay. I'm here to stay. But you were saying so in MegaCon you were gonna try to vlog and stuff, but it didn't
Yeah,
happen.
obviously I couldn't go, but I've always been a huge fan of, I don't know if you know, I hope you know him on YouTube, Casey Neistat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's
Yeah,
big
yeah,
time.
he's amazing,
Oh
and
yeah.
his it's he's able to vlog and make things look so cinematic, right? And so that's
Mm-hmm.
something I've always wanted to dip my feet in. And it's funny, I started technically a personal YouTube 2 3 years ago, and I
Mm.
and even though when I did it, I was just like, there's no niche for me. I'm like, just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing for me to like, okay, I'm gonna go to the store for what, right?
Right.
And
Right.
so I was like, this is not gonna work. So I was like, okay, how about this? How about I film the moment I wake up in the morning to get on my
Mm.
flight to go to MegaCon,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I've had all these ideas. Like, all right, don't steal my idea, but I'll tell you what ideas was essentially opening up where the first shot I get a GoPro
Mhm.
and I put it in my coffee cup and I brew my
Mm.
coffee. Right, I'll start brewing the coffee.
You gonna break your camera.
That's fine. You know what I mean? Small, getting into an Uber, going to the airport, and the next shot is, it's just a storytelling of the moment I left from point A to point B to get to MegaCon.
Yeah, yeah.
Or, spoiler alert, point A from here to Anaheim for Star Wars night.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
You know what I
That'd be
mean?
dope.
So
Yeah.
I really want to incorporate what we do on the channel with
Mhm.
that as well. So that's definitely something I want to do.
So I don't have something as in depth as that, but when I was going to Nashville for ICC Con, I did film myself like getting on the plane. It was cool because it was like a smaller plane, a small like airport. So you had to like go like onto the thing and you have to like climb up the stairs to get
Yep.
into the airplane and all that and recorded all that and that was a cool experience. My thing with vlogs though is, bro, is like nobody watches them, at least mine. So I was like, I don't know. So like when I went to MegaCon, I had planned on vlogging all of MegaCon and then I was just like, screw it. You know what I mean? I was just like, nah. I'm just gonna enjoy the moment, make friends, and just kind of just be here. So that's why I didn't even put a vlog out for MegaCon this year because I was just kind of like, dude, I put out so many vlogs and they just don't do anything. And not that it's about the views, but at the same time, I'm just like, like I'd rather just live in the moment since I'm not getting there's no benefit to it anyway. So
And that
I
was
don't know.
the thing. I told myself, if I'm gonna do it, I want to make it fun, not
Yeah.
just for like for viewers, but for myself.
Yeah, no,
You
for
know what I
sure.
mean? Because if I'm not gonna have fun doing it, I'm not gonna do it.
No, no, no.
You know what I mean? And it's like I already have like, what's going on, you guys over here at MegaCon, whatever. And as I'm saying that, there's drone footage of the convention center or whatever. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
fire.
It's gonna take a lot of work to do it. Clipping everything together, but that's kind of the point of why I want to do it. For
For
me,
sure.
the filming part is actually the funnest part.
Me too. I would say my dog over here. He's like, "Yo, pay attention to me."
I know my dog's in
Um, we'll get going soon. But how your guys' Casey Neistat? My favorite guy is Peter McKinnon.
love Peter McKinnon.
Love
His
Pete.
his backpack's way too expensive, but I want it.
Oh, you like his backpack?
God, it's like $300. I think it's the 12-liter bag,
Yep. So
right?
I don't have his backpack, but check this out. Let me grab it.
All right, guys, we're gonna go and take over now. So today's topic. Oh, sorry, he's back. Never mind.
So I have his his sling, his camera
Oh,
bag sling. Yeah, it's dope. And then it's got the Pete's Pyro Life on the back, and it's got all the hidden things inside of it. It fits so much stuff. It is awesome.
it's funny because you hold it in the front side, and it doesn't look all that big. But once you turn it, you see like how much extra room you really do have. Dude, you could fit.
This thing is
You can just literally
massive.
fit a full frame camera in there with a 24-70 in there.
100%. So I could fit my camera with a it's a 20 mil,
The 1.4, 1.8. They have to
1.8 Sony, and then I could fit another lens right here. I could fit two batteries, 3 memory cards. It's got 2 other pockets. Actually, it's got 3 other pockets. It's got zippers. I mean, it's crazy. And then it even has like, so when you have it slinged over, it's got this like
You just bought it.
Oh, I just got it. I see
the tag. I see the tag.
See the tag. It was a birthday gift from my wife. It has this like bungee elastic thing, and then there's hook thing. So if you have it strapped and let's say you're shooting and you don't want to zip it and unzip it because you're probably going to be in and out, you can just put this strap here. It'll hold it kind of closed, and then you just pop it back open, and it's next level, dude.
I love his bag. I think his bag is perfect for traveling, especially if you're bringing camera equipment.
Yeah.
But when it comes to cons, like it's too big. Like where I still use my Peak design. I've had that for years.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But even though it's the smallest backpack you can get, it's still too big. I carried around at a celebration the entire time, and it was still too big.
Really?
Yeah. Especially with vlogging. If I have the DJI RS3 Mini. It's smaller, but it still takes up a lot of space.
Yeah. Diamond Fig says, don't be like me, be like Tony. He's got 35 channels. He's got the podcast channel. He's got Star Wars Sith. He's got
Hyrule
gaming channel. Yeah. Guy's a beast.
I wanted to do this thing. I wanted to do the same thing, but I was like, I'm just gonna keep everything on one channel because I know for a fact I can't manage 3.
No shot.
And that's why that's the goat right there.
You have the same bag, Tony? So do you have the sling like me, or do you have like the big camera bag that Chris was talking about?
I might have to get that bag this year because the Peter McKinnon one, his 12 liter, you can fit so much in there, dude. Especially if you're traveling.
Yeah. And dude, the material, have you held them in person? He's got the sling. Dope. Yeah, the sling is fire. The materials are, I mean, it's Peter McKinnon. You know what I mean? He doesn't half-ass anything. The materials are just so good. It's like water resistant too. So if it rains and all of that,
it had to be at least $150 bag.
175.
175, yeah, because his actual bag, his 12 liter, I think is either $299. It's either $299, and then his other, I forgot what size. I think the other 18 liter is like $399 or something like that.
Yeah, it's a great bag, dude. Like, there's other camera bags where I was like, maybe I'll just do that. It's still really nice, save the money, and then I didn't buy a bag, and then my wife surprised me with this for my birthday. I was like, oh yeah.
The best, I'll tell you before after that. I know we went way over.
That's okay.
The best thing about camera bags is they always have that spot for iPads. That little slit that's in there. And it's so perfect for convention. Even though it's bigger, it's perfect for conventions because if you get photos,
you can slide that mug in there.
Done, and you have all this extra room. So
it's genius.
Like, there's things about having camera bags and bringing them to conventions that it's like, oh, it's big, but you can hold a lot of stuff. But then it gets too heavy. But then it's a convenient spot where you can put something else. It's a lot, dude. That's
why I'm gonna bring a dolly next time,
right? Or the luggage with the wheels on it.
Yeah. Have you seen the luggage with the wheels that turns into like a scooter?
I want one of those so bad.
Those are dope.
I want one. And then you know what? You should get one of those. I'm gonna get a pair of Heelys. I'm gonna hold on to the back.
Dude, I used to have Heelys back in the day.
Mine were black and red, dude. I still remember that.
Do you remember the soaps?
Mm-mm.
the soaps were like the reverse of Heelys. Instead of having wheels, they had these weird, like they had the grind plates in the middle of the
Okay,
shoe.
I do remember because I saw people where they would run and they would jump up and literally grind on a rail.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what
yeah.
they were called. I couldn't remember what they were called.
They were called soaps. And then
That's
they
wild.
had the there was like a soap. I don't know if it was actually like the brand Healy and actually the brand Slope, but there was a time where you had this like this the soap mechanism for grinding, but it also had the Healy like wheel in
That's
the back.
funny,
Those things were
dude.
crazy.
I remember watching TV and there was a commercial for shoes
He
where like
said I had the soap shoes.
like the
It was
people had like
lit.
full on shoes roller skate where it looked like a pair of regular shoes and you unfold like full wheels. Do you
Oh
remember those?
yeah. I
Yeah,
remember those.
that's so
Crazy.
wild. That's so
Oh,
wild, dude.
the good old days.
Telling you, man, the early 2000s were the best times because
The best.
we saw a lot of stuff, and it's like comparing all the Star Wars stuff now and back then. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
everyone's spoiled, dude.
Oh, for sure.
We're lucky that we have people like N sabers, Vader sabers that we get
Mm-hmm.
products relatively fast
Oh
for a
yeah.
good price.
Yep.
Before with a lot of my custom sabers, it took me weeks to get back.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
took forever. 3D printing process takes forever. Luckily, I have a great installer who he's really fast and took care of my stuff. Then I learned
Yeah.
how to install my own stuff.
Wow.
When it comes to like I have one here. It's a master chassis. It's all metal chassis. Like, and I weathered it myself. I did it. I'm not gonna do that. I'm
No.
gonna send it to him to do. But
Mm-hmm.
at least the amount of time it is to get back is fast. Back then, no shot. You're waiting months just to get
Yep.
an saber.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Early 2000s was the best. Facts.
Yeah. I mean, even just like the non-Star Wars things back in the day, like the Floam and like the kinetic sand. Actually, you could
Yeah,
get the
dude.
kinetic sand to like the Sharper Image store you were talking about
Yeah.
back in the day.
Even a slinky back in the
Oh
days.
yeah.
Watching it go down the stairs was
Mm-hmm.
like
Just
I
like
don't
the
know.
old school yo-yos, like the Duncan yo-yos and stuff. Ththose were
Yeah,
fire.
what was it? You get the yo-yos and people would do like was it
Sleep and
cradle the baby
yeah,
around the
Cradle the
world? Like
Baby.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's not around anymore. Things like that. So
No, because everybody's like this. They're just like just living in their phones and
well,
they're not
I hope
actually interacting
well
with the
yeah,
world.
but I hope they're living on their phone watching our content.
True. True. That gets a pass. That gets a pass.
Like if you're not doing anything else but watching content, then get off your phone.
Yeah. Or how about like the early 2000s like candy that we don't make like the push pops and like the
Oh,
ring pops
you know
and
what I've been craving from the 2000s and actually late
what?
90s that it's not around anymore. And to this day, I'm like, wow, do you remember the Flintstone ice cream push pops?
Yes. Had the cardboard joint and you push that
Yep.
thing through.
That
Woo!
I would eat. I would take that over any ice cream right now.
Yeah, those are
But
fire.
they don't make them anymore. They're gone.
No, they don't make those. Or the
Or the actual dollar menu from McDonald's.
gone.
No
Yeah, the
money.
action.
Now it's the value meal. I'm like, there's no value in that, dude. It used to be.
No,
I used to
it's not
spend
even meat.
$3.75 on a drink, fries, and a hot and spicy. Now
Yep,
that's $7.
for sure. That's a whole meal. I'm like, what are we even talking about here? You leave by the time you get a regular meal and you're out, it's $20 at McDonald's. I'm like, yo, I could have almost gone to Chili's and got real food or something like that for the 3 for me.
I remember.
There's a Chili's right by the crib, so we be hitting that up all the time.
I remember them like during the pandemic when things were really bad and gas got really low. I was like, hey, gas is
Yeah,
$5 again. Like, I was like, yo, can I get a
yeah.
ride? I'm like, yeah, you got gas money though.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it got so low. I was like, this reminds me of like 2008 ish, where people were like, I got $5. We take me here. I'm like, that's perfect. That's enough. Now it's like,
Yeah,
hey, bro, I got like $15. We take me here. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. $15. It's fine.
yeah. Isn't that crazy, dude? Crazy. What other was good? They had the you remember those like it looked like a paintbrush or like it was like a stick, and then you would put it, you have to lick it and then put it
Uh,
in like the sugar, and you
um,
whatever that thing was called.
dip something.
Yeah,
They still
I
have those.
forget.
Those are around still.
They're still around.
Yeah, my daughter had one recently, and I was like,
Oh,
oh,
okay,
I remember those.
that's cool.
Or is
Or
it
like
what?
the big like the gum, the purple gum or the pink gum in the circle.
the roll tape or the tape gum.
Yeah, that one. Crazy.
Bro, that's
Or the
so
Big
wild.
League Chew. The Big League
In the
Chew.
bag that came out, it looked like a tobacco bag. It used
Yeah, you're
to.
like.
I remember there was like this is so bad to say. It was a cigarette candy.
Oh, I remember the white sticks.
Yeah, and they were so powdered that when you go, it's just powder.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Crazy, this. Oh my
oh
gosh.
my goodness.
Oh,
I
the
could do
good
this all
old
day.
days.
I could do this
I
all
know.
day.
I know. But guys, so Chris, thank you for coming on. It has been a blast. We will definitely be doing this again. Tell
100%.
everybody who is not following you where they can find you and connect with you.
You can find me on mainly I'm always on Instagram. So you always find me on Instagram at the Nerd Dad. It should be _ the Nerd Dad _ again, or on YouTube. I did take a small hiatus last year because life happens. But this year will be the year that a lot more content come out this year. So I'm very, very excited. But I'm also very excited with some of the collabs that I have ideas with or for. Like one I'm going to tell you as soon as we get off. But that's pretty much it. I'm excited.
Cool.
Very excited.
And if you guys are not following me, I am at all platforms at I am Gianni V. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, you name it, all the same. I am Gianni V. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging out. I think on the longest episode of Wookie Whispers ever. We have broken a record, and it is a good one to break. I appreciate you guys. Much love. Until next Tuesday, may the force be with you.
1